Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna push my skills a little bit and try to do some cool UI stuff that will help for future builds. Here is what I've got set up for today, guys. A challenge of 6 items. I went through a bunch of popular games on the site, found some UI-based stuff that you can add into builds. Most of these are to purchase game passes or just to put more emphasis on a point of interest in the game. For example, free diamonds on a diamond's chest. Over here, a cool little thing to go into a zone. And then these ones, game pass, game pass, game pass. Those are always great to have. And then this little teleporter from Please Donate. So I'm gonna try to remake all of these with, we'll say heavily inspired, but also trying to be a little bit in my own style. And I am a complete noob when it comes to UI, so I'm sure I'll do some things wrong. And if you guys catch them, give me some tips down in the comments below. Anyways, let's get started. I think I'm gonna do these like in order. So sign, game pass thing, this, and this. So yeah, I guess we'll go into Blender first and 3D model the little sign. We're gonna start this one pretty easy, and they have a super optimized sign. We're gonna go with a cylinder. I'm gonna put it down to like 8 sides, I think. Shade smooth, auto smooth, and just boost that all the way. Maybe not all the way up. Well, that's a bit harsh. There we go. 70 looks pretty good. S Shift Z to make that a bit thinner. And I would love to have a little bit of character here. Not adding too much geometry, but just kind of flaring out the top. I think that looks all right. Now we just need a cube. Scale it down. X, SZ, something like that is the base of the sign. Now we just need to add in some details. Now we have that little cut. Don't forget to fill in these faces. I'm gonna do a little more of this, a little more detailing on this sign, and then once the model's done, we'll hop into Studio and get started on the UI. If I spend all my time in Blender, this would be like every other video. All right, guys, we are finally back in Studio. I've got my wood sign, and now we need to figure out how to get some UI on it. So this is all one mesh. I think I'm gonna need an extra part here that I could kind of just put over the top. I might not need that, but I think it's gonna be a lot easier to work with if I have it. So we're just gonna kind of cover the front of this sign like so, covering it up pretty good. And then I'm just gonna turn this to like hot pink and pretty transparent. For some reason, every time I make a transparent part, I always make it hot pink. Definitely not necessary, but you know. Gave it a name, and let's move it into our UI stuff. I'm trying to keep this place super organized, so in the future, I'll have lighting sets, low poly assets, stylized assets, UIs, waters, a bunch of stuff that I could kind of pull from and do builds a lot faster. Anyways, now that we have this and our part, let's start putting in some UI elements. Now, I don't know what all of them are, so I'm just gonna kind of look through them. I think a surface GUI is the best way to go if it's on a part, so we're gonna start there. And then let's just put a text label in it. And now we need to figure out what face this needs to go on, because it's currently on the front and it's not showing up. Let's try the left. There we go, we got it. And let me pull my reference back up so we have something to look at. It looks like there is 2 different text labels. We have one with the description, one with the name, and then there's an image and a button. So let's get these texts done first. Background transparency, boom, we don't need that at all. And I want this centered, so I think you go to position, and you only want to change the scale, I believe, not the offset. So let's just see what like 0.5 does. Too much, 0.25. I wonder what the best way to make sure this is perfectly symmetrical is. Definitely gonna be something else I have to learn, but this does look pretty centered. We're just gonna copy the text from our reference as well for now, just to see how close we can make it look. I made it bold, text scaled, and text fits. I know we can make the box itself longer. I need to figure out how to do that. They also have this in white, so I should change that, which is easy. Text color, white. All right, guys, it only took me forever to figure out how, but I have the first line done. So now all I have to do, I believe, we could duplicate this, and then I will change its text to like ASAP, just so it doesn't match. Lucky. And then I just have to move this with the position. All right, not perfect, but I like where it's going. The next thing we need to do is add in some sort of a button. So text button. I think it would be an image button because I'm probably going to make this in Photoshop, the buy button. So let's do an image button. And now we just need to mess around with all of these sizes and positions. I will say so far, because this is taking me a little bit and I'm sure it'll be easier as I go, but so far, far, it's just like, dang, not fun. It's like super tedious. Offsets 0, and then this one, someone was explaining to me that you will never use offsets. So if that's false, let me know in the comments. But for our size, let's go 0.5 and 0.5. We may have to go 0.3, 0.45. All right, I think I like this. And now our positions, let's go 0.1 and 0.5. Yo, that's really close. 0.65. 0.6, it's so close, man. 0.55. This isn't bad. I think I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller or move Lucky up just a bit. We do want the buy button to be a pretty big, prominent thing. So let's go with pass name, and let's move that up just a little bit on the Z-axis. So maybe 0.15, 0.1. That'll work for now. Now, can you put text label inside of an image button? You can. Okay, because I'm gonna need to change from buy to owned if someone presses the button. Now, we're not working on scripting today, but I'm gonna try to finish this one. The only other thing we need is an image label, I believe, and we're gonna put it right over here. I think I'm on the right page with this one. All right, guys, so far this is looking pretty good. I've also made everything, besides the My Bike Life logo, within Studio. So I'm trying to figure out how I could go and add in all the effects. I know there's a UI stroke effect that we could also use. Make that a little bit thicker. I do need to learn how to make things behind or ahead of each other. For example, this kind of clipping here is driving me crazy. But if we make this part fully transparent now, this is our sign. It definitely looks like a low-budget version of the one we were trying to make, but for a first attempt, I don't think it's too bad. I do think the buy button is a bit too big. I think that already looks quite a bit better. And for a first attempt at our first thing, I don't think this is too bad. Up next, we're gonna make this a circle on the ground with a beam coming out of it, a text label, and then this would be some sort of a mesh with your Game Pass icon on it, probably a decal. So we're gonna hop into Blender, start out with a torus, and this can be way less sides. I think something like this will work. And then we're gonna take the bottom half of it off just for optimization reasons. We could just delete all of those faces. It's gonna be on the ground anyways, so I don't think it needs to have both sides of it. All right, guys, we have our ring in here. It looks like they used a very light color, and we're also gonna make this neon. We are gonna put 2 attachments into this thing, 1 on each side. Let's line them up about here and here. Then we need probably 2 beams, I believe. There we go. We've got 1 beam down. We'll have to work on how it looks and everything like that here in just a moment. And what we are going to do is take our curve size and make it match up with this circle. All right, our beam is good to go. However, it is a bit thick, a bit of a thick boy here. We need to go to a less harsh yellow, something along these lines. I do wish I made the ring a little bit like thinner, but it'll have to do for now. Anyways, we can move on to the next part, which is a white text. I'm going to add another attachment that's gonna be right in the middle. Now I'm gonna move that attachment up a little bit. Background transparency to 1, text color to white. There we go. I just made the Game Pass display in Blender as well. It was quite literally a beveled cube, so I felt we could skip that part. Now, all that we need to do is put a decal on this. We should probably put one on both sides. We'll do right and left. And for now, I'm just gonna use the Bike Life logo once again because it's what I got. And then I believe in PetSim X or PetSim 99, whatever game this one was from, I do believe the top thing is spinning. So I'm gonna go to my plugin Scene Tools and just give it a little spin. Now, if we jump into the game, we have a Game Pass with our Game Pass displayed and it is spinning. I'll probably up that speed just a little bit, and it would be nice if I could make it bounce and spin. I feel like that would look a lot better. I think it turned out pretty decent. But man, does it still look like a budget version? Yes. Guys, number 3, right here, we have some sort of a hexagon or octagon with a neon part in the middle, a beam, and a image displayed. So let's make this super quick. We have this All right, face select, drag it down. We're gonna scale it in just a little bit, it seems. Then we're going to inset, extrude, scale in, P selection, and there we go. We're going to studio. All right, guys, looks like we're just gonna go like a neon minty type color. This is a pretty dark gray going a little more towards black. We'll go something like that. Then we're gonna need 2 attachments. We're doing the same thing, guys. Another beam from the bottom to the top. The top gets wider. Pretty simple stuff. I also switched to a spotlight, so it's when you're standing on it, the light is shining up instead of all around. We do need to edit our beam just a bit. Width, let's try 4. Yeah, 4 looks pretty good for the bottom, and then for the top, maybe 8, just double it. Something like that works. It is hard to see right now because it's so bright out. And then I have these, like, these speck particles, which I'm gonna put right inside here as well. This isn't in Please Donate, but I do think it looks pretty cool. I am gonna cut the rate down to, like, 3, though. I think they're a bit too hardcore right now. I think the last thing we need in this is a billboard GUI. And I'm also going to put that billboard GUI into an attachment, just to make it easier to move around. For size, we will do 2 and 2. That looks pretty good to me. I am going to move that up just a bit, somewhere around here. And then inside the billboard, we need an image label. Now, I don't know if you would have guessed it or not, but I'm going to use the bike life thing again. Also, I'm going to have to fix this little issue. I believe that's anchor points that I got to play around with. All right, I got the anchor point set. Now we need to change its position once again. I guess I never changed it in the first place. I believe that would just be the 0.5s. Yes. There we go. Look at this. That is pretty much the Please Donate thing. It's not a mic, it's the My Bike Life logo, but hey, plug as we must. Make sure to turn that background transparency up, and there we go. So here's 3 of them so far. Main things I want to figure out. I need to make this Game Pass thing not scale infinitely, and I need to know how to make this look better, which I may do with image labels later on, but we've got 3 of them so far. Let's go ahead and make this one real quick, and I think I'm gonna skip the blade ball one. For an experienced UI person, this would probably be seconds, maybe minutes of work. For me, since I barely knew what I was doing at the beginning, it has been quite a bit of time. Let's get all of our things into UI stuff, and let's make that other Game Pass display. And another one bites the dust. This was honestly a copy and paste of the Please Donate one, except adding in the Game Pass thing, which was a copy and paste of this one, but it doesn't get out of the box. Like, I don't know where I'm confusing myself about this. This one's staying stuck. This one is not. But we've got 4 done. The only thing left to do is that attachment one with only text, which is super easy in comparison to these. Just like I thought, guys, easiest one by far. This you could put on top of any point of interest in your game, change up the text and all that good stuff, and you could just turn that box invisible or make it an attachment within whatever object you want to put it on. Here is everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6. I'm gonna spend some time, sort of off video, but I'll put it in, trying to make these even better. So they did take me a bit of time, but I also did rush a little bit. So I'm gonna make sure everything is named properly. I'm gonna fix this infinite scale thing, make sure this is spinning correctly, maybe even figure out how to get it to bounce a little bit, and just put all the polish I can on all of these, and I'll be back when they are like fully done. But so far, I'm pretty happy with them. For day 1 of giving some UI stuff a bit of a whirl, I think we turned out pretty good. All right, fixed the hover, there we go. Now I feel good about wrapping this one up, guys. If you want to see more content like this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see me script all of these with the proximity prompts and all that good stuff, let's go for 1,000 likes. It's a lot, but so is scripting, so I think it's destined.